sides of the story. Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora. Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Time now for both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. We will not take sides, but we listen to your side. Join us as we explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on both sides of the story. 922-4112, 922-4113, 922-4114, and 922-4115. You can listen to both sides of the story on the Gleaner's website, www.go-jamaica.com, on your mobile phones at tunein.com or nobex.com, or by dialing 832-551-5045 or 213-493-0133 in the USA. If you're in the UK, you can dial 020-3519-0145, and in Germany, 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106@live.com, and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or link us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo, and your text messages on 365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
I know what the caged bird feels. Alas, when the sun is bright on the upland slopes, when the wind stirs soft through the springing grass, and the river flows like a stream of glass, when the first bird sings and the first bud opes, and the faint perfume from its chalice steals, I know what the caged bird feels. I know why the caged bird beats his wing, till its blood is red on the cruel bars, for he must fly back to his perch and cling when he fain would be on the bow a swing. And a pain still throbs in the old scars, and they pulse again with a keener sting. I know why he beats his wing. I know why the caged bird sings. Ah, me, when his wing is bruised and his bosom sore, when he beats his bars and he would be free. It is not a carol of joy or glee, but a prayer that he sends from his heart's deep core. A plea that upward to heaven he flings. I know why the caged bird sings.
Well, it seems like I'm falling in your trap again. And it seems like I've been wearing the same old thing. But good must conquer evil, and truth will set me free. So you see that somewhere I have found a key. see that somewhere I have found the key. And it seems like I've been sleeping in your bed too long. And it seems like you've been planning to do me wrong. But evil concentrated must be disintegrated. So you see that I'll be walking out again. Yes, you see that I'll be walking out again. Trapped, oh yeah. Trapped, oh yeah. Trapped, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Seems like I've been playing the game for much too long. And it seems the game I played I've made you strong. But when this game is over, I won't end up the loser. And you know that I'll be walking out again. Yes, you know that I'll be walking out again. Now you're trapped. Oh yeah. Trapped. Oh yeah. Trapped. Oh yeah. Trapped. Oh yeah. Seems like I have fallen in your trap again. And it seems like I'm wearing the same old thing. But when this game is over, I won't end up the loser. And you know that I'll be walking out again.
Okay, sir.
Yes, you know that I'll be walking out again.
Maybe later. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and 2022 marks the start of the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 15th day of the third month of 2022, the International Year of Sustainable Mountain Development, the International Year of Basic Sciences for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Glass, and the International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture. Here in Jamaica and in the United States, the month of March is being observed as Intellectual Disabilities Awareness Month. Also in the US, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, Endometriosis Awareness Month, Salt Awareness Month. In fact, this is Salt Awareness Week right here in Jamaica and in the UK. March is also Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in the United Kingdom. March is Women's History Month as well. And in terms of the other observances for today, it's Constitution Day in Belarus, and J.J. Roberts' birthday is being celebrated in Liberia. It's a national day in Hungary. Hoy es martes el 15 de marzo 2022. Y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est mardi le 15 mars 2022 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Tuesday, the 15th of March, 2022, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point, this is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you can download from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We acknowledge those who are watching via the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook and the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear, but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to those of you who are listening to us on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Subscribers to onespotmedia.com also have access to Both Sides of the Story in particular and Power 106 FM in general. There's more after the break.
Walk into Marjan's Pharmacy and you will feel better. The service is clearly different. Marjan's Pharmacy, call 876-703-6335. The time by Marjan's Pharmacy is 2:15.
Traveling to Jamaica with unaccompanied shipment?
The Jamaica Customs Agency is encouraging all air passengers with unaccompanied shipment who have a taxpayer registration number, TRN, to present it to customs upon arrival. This will subsequently facilitate faster processing when clearing your unaccompanied shipments. The Jamaica Customs Agency will continue to implement measures to improve our service delivery and your service experience. You may contact us at 876-922-5140 to 8 or email public.relations@jca.gov.jm on this and other customs-related matters. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line.
Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Consumer Talks, educating and empowering consumers towards a more vigilant and confident consumer-friendly Jamaica. Join us every second and last Tuesday of each month at 9:35 on Real Business. Listen and learn about your rights and responsibilities. Learn how the CAC works to empower consumers in Jamaica. Consumer Talks, brought to you by the Consumer Affairs Commission, protecting your rights, securing our future.
Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. We've been doing it for 15 years. That's right. Join us on Thursdays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and at 9:55 p.m. Compliments of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, educating, advocating, empowering. Under the Law, Thursdays on Power 106 FM.
Hello to those of you who have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. If you're in the US and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 631-359-8281. 631-359-8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, you can call 0330-606-0953, 0330-606-0953. We're also streaming live video on YouTube on the Dervan Malcolm YouTube channel. If you're not there yet, open a browser like Google Chrome, Bing, Safari, any one of those and others, and type YouTube. The box will populate, the search box will populate in no time. And if you're searching right now, you should see this video trending. If not, then in the YouTube search box, type DERVANMALCOLM, and you too will be able to watch both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. What's on your mind this afternoon? We're always curious to find out. The numbers to call, 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us via WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Let's give you a quick scan of the stories that are trending right now, starting with the Gleaners platform. 2 women charged for Kingston robbery. 2 women charged for Kingston robbery. That is the main story on the Gleaners platform right now. 2 women who held up and robbed a man in downtown Kingston on Monday, that was yesterday, have been charged. 2 women who held up and robbed a man in downtown Kingston yesterday have been charged. 21-year-old Moesha Smile, and you can tell when some of these people were born by their names. Moesha, the TV show, the comedy, Moesha. 21-year-old Moesha Smile. What a pleasant surname. Moesha Smile. 21-year-old Moesha Smile, otherwise called Browning, a makeup artist of Seabreeze Avenue, and 25-year-old Crystal Wagon, a higgler of Dreckett's Place, both in Kingston. They're charged with robbery with aggravation. The police report that about 5:55 p.m. yesterday, the complainant was standing at the intersection of Tar and Princess Streets when he was approached by the women who brandished knives and proceeded to rob him of $20,000. The women then fled into the area. A report was made to the police, and the women were pointed out by the man. They were subsequently arrested and charged. Their court date is being finalized. Now, how often do you hear a story like this of a criminal nature? Two women who held up and robbed a man in downtown Kingston have been charged. The Gleaner tells us. What a thing. Now, remember who called us the other day asking about the suspect in the assassination of Jovenel Moïse and what would become of that person and whether that person could just walk without any consequences? Well, the Gleaner is telling us this afternoon that Haiti, or the French pronunciation Haiti, Haiti reportedly wants Jamaica to hand over Moïse's suspect. And there's a picture of the individual, John Joel Joseph, 59-year-old John Joel Joseph, who's charged with illegal entry into Jamaica, is listed among 5 fugitives who are wanted in connection with the assassination of the former Haitian president Jovenel Moïse. Haiti is reportedly seeking to have Jamaica hand over a former senator who has been linked to the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. According to the Miami Herald, the request for John Joel Joseph was sent to Jamaica on March 10, the same day that he and members of his family appeared in a Kingston court where a judge put off a decision on his fate. Mr. John Joel Joseph is considered a fugitive from justice and is suspected of being an accessory to a crime, a high-ranking Haitian government source was quoted as saying. All of this has been clearly stated in the correspondence. It is unclear if Haitian authorities are requesting Joseph's deportation or extradition. Haiti and Jamaica do not share an extradition agreement. Joseph, his wife Idium, 38, and their sons Chopinor, 17, and Abaku, 9, who are charged with illegal entry, were remanded to return to the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on March 24. Idium and her sons were seeking asylum in Jamaica, but at the last court appearance on March 10, their attorney indicated that they're pursuing an option for asylum other than Jamaica. There's a particular discussion that is to be had with our counterparts elsewhere, and I believe that particular discussion will bear some fruits in relation to the status of 3 people before the courts. Attorney Donahue Martin told Senior Parish Judge Lorianne Cole Montague. And you can read the rest of the story on the Gleaners platform. Just doing a quick scan of some of the stories, just in case you missed anything, you weren't able to catch up with the midday news or any of the other newscasts. Well, we're doing our best to catch you up in that regard. COVID-19 cases more than double in China's growing outbreak. Here we go again. The story says China's new COVID-19 cases today more than doubled from the previous day as the country faces by far its biggest outbreak since the early days of the pandemic. The National Health Commission said 3,507 new locally spread cases had been identified in the latest 24-hour period, up from 1,337 a day earlier. A fast spreading variant known as stealth Omicron is testing China's zero tolerance strategy, which had kept the virus at bay since the deadly initial outbreak in the city of Wuhan in early 2020. China has recorded more than 10,000 cases in the first 2 weeks of March, far exceeding previous flare ups. No new deaths have been reported in the multiple outbreaks across China, and the case count remains low compared to many other places in the world. The UK recorded more than 444,000 cases in the past week. Hong Kong, a semi-autonomous city that tracks its outbreaks separately from the mainland, reported 26,908 new cases on Monday alone. Nearly three-fourths of China's new infections were in Jilin, a province in the northeast that reported 2,601 cases. Smaller outbreaks have hit more than a dozen provinces and major cities, including Beijing and Shanghai. So here we go again. Oh boy. Just when we thought we were getting closer and closer to getting over COVID-19, or at least to bring it down to the bare minimum, here we go again. It's another flare up, another outbreak in China, where it all began. Let's see how things unfold from here on in. Here's a story that was just posted by the team at the Gleaner. Another updated story. I stick to FLA review board gun permit recommendations. Chang. And there's a picture of the National Security Minister citing a policy shift. Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, says he does not review the recommendations of the review board of the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, in relation to the granting of firearm licenses. He said that the policy shift was implemented in 2017. Chang, who is also chairman of the Joint Select Committee reviewing the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act of 2022, told lawmakers today that he has never reviewed the decisions of the review board of the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA. He said that since 2017, the government introduced significant policy changes aimed at correcting the irregularities and deficiencies uncovered in the special report of the Integrity Commission that was tabled in Parliament last week. Giving reasons for the policy change, Chang told committee members that the government found it inappropriate that a policy unit within the Ministry of National Security should be asked to review the work of a high-level panel. The review board is headed by a former president of the Court of Appeal and supported by a former senior deputy director of public prosecutions and a retired senior police officer. The security minister's remarks come against the background of a damning Integrity Commission report on the FLA's issuance of firearm licenses to people with criminal traces. The commission charged that former government minister Robert Montague knowingly granted a firearm permit to 6 people with criminal traces while he was national security minister. And the story goes on. So that's an updated story with respect to the Firearm Licensing Authority. The current security minister saying that he has stuck with the Firearm Licensing Authority Review Board gun permit recommendations. He has never sought to overturn or overrule or veto.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30. For great vibes and tasty cuisine, visit Las Vegas Cafe, conveniently located at 70 Crane Road, Black River. Drive in, take away or request delivery. Choose from a variety of delicious seafood dishes. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sundays to Thursdays and up to midnight Fridays to Saturdays. Las Vegas Cafe, the home of seafood since 2009.
Relax, Paul, cover your nose and your mouth now and stay far from me. It looks like the flu have you aware.
I mean to tell you, I have fever this morning. Right now, I have some pain. But I still have a try go for Pinky to get some phone credit.
It's like you never hear a thing where the nurse tell me the other day. She said we feel rest if we have the flu. We feel cover our nose and our mouth when we cough or we sneeze. And it's no joke. Visit your doctor or nearest health center. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. We've been doing it for 15 years. That's right. Join us on Thursdays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and at 9:55 p.m. Compliments of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, educating, advocating, empowering. Under the Law, Thursdays on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can also call us via WhatsApp. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Looking forward to your full participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. What's on your mind? What are the issues that you're concerning yourself with? What are the ideas, the suggestions, the criticisms, the recommendations? It's your opportunity to tell us what you think, how you feel, and we look forward to your participation. Let's clear some of these messages now. In the meantime, let's hop over to YouTube and say hello to Juliet Smith. She says, "Hi, Dervan, good day. Please send me some good Jamaican weather. Canada needs it." Well, we send you lots of love and warmth in cold Canada, Juliet Smith. Stay warm. Thanks for tuning in. Tony C. says, "Good afternoon. Mr. Malcolm, to you and all your staff and all Jamaicans, let us all pray for peace around the world." That's from Tony C. Donovan Campbell says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Blessings to you too, Donovan Campbell. Thank you very much for tuning in." Norman Hines in St. Thomas says, "Good afternoon, C and all listeners." Good afternoon, Norman Hines. Violet White says, "Pleasant afternoon, Dervan. Blessings to you too, Violet White. Good to have you on board as usual. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Our text line, let's go up the line. GMAC in the Cayman Islands. LOL, not at all, says GMAC. Not sure what that is in relation to. Cuban in Georgia says, your station is not broadcasting via the internet any longer. Do you know what is happening? And why is the station suspended? I don't know. I really don't. We'll have to ask management if they're aware of that. Maybe Roland Booth can tell us more about that. Yeah, well, maybe we need an official word, eh? Let's see who can give us that official word on the streaming issues that we've been having. And Joan in Bermuda says, hello, Sir D. Just a little FYI. This is what I see when I log into Power 106 lately. Not secure, pop-up. Oh, dear. All right, so the complaints are getting more and more frequent now. Another one. Dervan Malcolm, tune in Radio Go Jamaica, Power 106 app. None of them has been working for the past 2 weeks for me. It's not my internet connection either, because I get every other station. Dervan Malcolm, the app is not working. Oh dear. Or is it working now? Let's see. Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois says, good afternoon, Ambassador Malcolm. Looking forward to an exceptional broadcast as usual. What's on my mind? She asks rhetorically. Disturbed by the involvement of youth in crimes. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. And Dr. Dunn here feeding me back my own words. Thank you very much. But it's a very useful thing to do, to check up on the children ever so often. Even with the little ones. Usually with the little ones, you see them around, and then after a while they drift off to somewhere, and then you remember and you go, so where? And you're looking around for the children, and sometimes you never find them ever again, sadly. At other times, you're fortunate enough to find them alive and well. And Keith says, it's nice. Oh, what is this now, Keith? This looks like, all right. Thank you very much for your message, Keith. Ambassador Curtis Ward is sending us a reminder. Thank you for the reminder, Ambassador Ward, Jamaica's former ambassador to the United Nations and former member of the UN Security Council. He has sent us a reminder that, let's bring it up for you. There is, for those who want to learn more about the Russia-Ukraine crisis, there's a seminar on this evening. It will run for 2 hours from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Russia-Ukraine crisis, organized by the Faculty of Social Sciences at the University of the West Indies. Ambassador Curtis Ward will deliver the keynote, and 2 distinguished ladies are on the panel as well, Dr. Christine Clark and Professor Suzette Horton. And so they're looking at the Russia-Ukraine crisis, implications for the Caribbean and international relations. The Russia-Ukraine crisis, implications for the Caribbean and international relations. This evening at 6, and it will go on till 8. The moderator, Dr. Lisa Vassiani. That's the moderator, Dr. Lisa Vassiani. The meeting ID, if you're interested, let's give you time to get pen and paper if you're interested in learning more about the Russia-Ukraine crisis and its implications for the Caribbean and international relations. The meeting ID, the Zoom meeting ID is 977-0093-2006. That's the meeting ID 977-0093-2006. And the passcode, I beg your pardon, the passcode is 506-031, 506-031. That's the Zoom link. But for sure, if you Google Social Sciences UE or UE Faculty of Social Sciences or FSS, hashtag FSS, you should get the information in terms of being able to connect, to be, I think for sure, Facebook and streaming on Facebook and Instagram. So you can check that out this evening at 6. Yesterday we encouraged you to support the West Indies women. Please don't give up on them. Continue to support them, please. The West Indies women, they played against Australia yesterday, and the result wasn't what we were necessarily hoping for, but so it was. The West Indies women were bowled out for 131, and the Australians, in reply, made 132 for the loss of just 3 wickets. We are still in your corner, West Indies women, still supporting you and wishing you all the very best. Thank you. And Wayne Golding in Florida has shared with us a firearm policy that he's suggesting, the concealed weapon license. He says perhaps we could here in Jamaica consider adopting some of the aspects of that document, of that policy, Florida concealed weapon license. All right. Well, Mr. Golding, perhaps we can have a word with you on this matter, because you obviously would have with it. But thank you very much for sharing. We'll take a look. We'll take a look at it. Let's see who else is messaging us. Who is this now? Dervan. That. All right, we're going to come back to that in a moment. Beresford, good afternoon. We see you. And let's go up the line. We're trying to clear them as quickly as possible. Barbara says, oh, this was earlier on. Okay. This was earlier on. This person says, listening to Mac, when we invite the overseas retired nurses, we feed, house, give them health care and pay in US dollars. How would that impact our economy? Well, I'm sorry I missed that discussion with Mac, but it is what it is. The nurses have been leaving for quite some time now. That exodus doesn't appear as if that exodus is going to come to a halt anytime soon. And therefore, what do? Do we just talk about it? No. We have to look inward and see what we can do to, first of all, retain those who we still have and recruit others under arrangements that would at least have them a little more loyal to Jamaica within a specific period of time. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Traveling to Jamaica with unaccompanied shipment? The Jamaica Customs Agency is encouraging all air passengers with unaccompanied shipments who have a taxpayer registration number, TRN, to present it to customs upon arrival. This will subsequently facilitate faster processing when clearing your unaccompanied shipments. The Jamaica Customs Agency will continue to implement measures to improve our service delivery and your service experience. You may contact us at 876-922-5140 to 8 or email public.relations@jca.gov.jm on this and other customs-related matters. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus. The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, but also your voice notes. That number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Renee Beckley in, is it Pontiac, Michigan? Renee, I believe. She says, I still cannot hear the Power 106 FM on the computer. I can hear the other Jamaican radio stations. Gospel JA comes in very clear. That's Renee in Michigan. Randy Williams says the app is working fine. Dr. Dunn says Power 106 app is working for me. Hello to Wayne Golding Sr., CD, member of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. Winsome Herridge says, good afternoon, Uncle Dervan. Good afternoon, Winsome Herridge. Good to have you on board, both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Let's see. Karine Campbell says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. I watched the game. I was a bit disappointed, but I'm still supporting them. We seem to have lost our way in the middle. Australia are unbeaten so far. Indeed, they are. And we still wish the West Indies women all the very best. Al Jazeera sharing with us some live updates we're going through quickly in terms of developments in Ukraine. Thousands evacuated from besieged Ukrainian city of Sumy. Russian anti-war TV protester Marina Ovsyannikova, that's Marina Ovsyannikova, was fined and released following a court hearing. The prime ministers of the Czech Republic, Poland, and Slovenia have arrived in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. The Ukrainians say Kyiv, the Russians say Kiev. A strike on a housing block in Kyiv has killed at least 4 people, according to the mayor. And the Red Cross says more than 100 buses carrying several thousand civilians have left the besieged city of Sumy. Canada, the US, and the EU have adopted new sanctions against Russia. And a Ukrainian journalist, as well as a US cameraman, have been killed near Kyiv. So those are some of the stories. The prime ministers of Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovenia, as we said, have arrived in Kyiv, according to Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki. And he says we must stop the tragedy that is happening in the east as soon as possible. Thank you very much, Al Jazeera, for those quick updates. Thank you. Let's continue with some more of the messages. I think we're in good form and will win the remaining matches, says Karine in a hopeful tone. Thank you very much for your message. The Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, wants us to alert Jamaicans in the diaspora to their coming. The Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, will stage another Access Jamaica initiative in Orlando, Florida, from March 25 to 27. That's the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, staging another Access Jamaica initiative in Orlando, Florida, from March 25 to 27. The event will take place at the Legends Restaurant and Lounge. The Legends Restaurant and Lounge, 5250 International Drive in Orlando, Florida, from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. each day. So this is the team, listeners and viewers in Orlando, Florida. Please spread the word within your household, within your community, within your groups, those who are members of different organizations. Spread the word that the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, is coming your way, heading to Orlando, Florida, for another Access Jamaica initiative. And this is from the 25th of March to the 27th. From the 25th to the 27th of March, the event will take place at the Legends Resto and Lounge. The Legends Resto, R-E-S-T-O. The Legends Resto and Lounge at 5250 International Drive in Orlando, Florida, from 8:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon each day. Those residing in and around the community will be able to apply for their new passports. They can apply to renew their passports. They can apply for replacements or for a passport replacement. All of those will be possible. Additionally, PICA will be offering citizenship by descent to those of Jamaican heritage, as well as citizenship by marriage to spouses of Jamaicans. There's also the option to apply for unconditional landing status to allow people to visit and stay here in Jamaica for an unlimited period. Access Jamaica is a PICA marketing event that allows Jamaicans and their descendants in the diaspora to access the products and services of the agency and its partners conveniently in their community, providing opportunity for PICA's team to meet and interact face-to-face with the agency's clients and target audience. The previous staging of the event took place in Atlanta, Miami, and Connecticut and saw thousands of patrons benefiting. Access Jamaica partners in this latest staging of the event include the Registrar General's Department, RGD, Grace Foods, Western Union, JN Money, and the Victoria Mutual. Well, they're no longer Victoria Mutual Building Society. Careful now. They are now the VM Group. VM Group, or just VM for short. So if you wish to take advantage of PICA's services, you can register from now. pica.gov.jm. Easy to remember, PICA, pica.gov.jm. Remember, we're in the age now where we no longer need to say www. Forget that. It's just in the search box, type pica.gov.jm. And if you need more information, you can email info@pica.gov.jm. info@pica.gov.jm. Let's go to the phone lines before we clear some more of your messages. 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very good, sir. I sent you a bottle of, a piece of a bottle of the June from liqueur that I made myself,
You sent me a bottle of liqueur.
No, a picture of a bottle of.
Oh, a picture. Oh, I was wondering because I was about to walk out of the studio to go and ask who has my June plum.
Okay. One of these days I'll let you go one of your bottles.
All right. What's happening?
I am very disappointed with Mr. Bonkin and his party because the Integrity Commission, I have the highest regard for that body. And I don't think they would have malicious feelings or intent against Mr. Bunting. And to cast doubt on them, it's a little bit unfair because he will not accept the findings while the other guy accepts the findings. So what is he saying to the country? Don't believe them?
Well, he says he hasn't done anything wrong. That is his contention. He says, we'll see if we can play the clip. But he essentially says, he's insisting that he has done nothing wrong in granting gun licenses to two people with criminal traces while he was Minister of National Security. Although there are those calling, and those calls have been growing, for him to step away from the Senate following on the heels of last week's report. And right, so he essentially says, these are his words now, there's nothing here that violated anything in the Firearms Act. There's nothing here that suggests improper exercise of ministerial discretion. Now, were you in my position, you may not have made the same decision, which is fine. But I am confident that there was nothing improper in the exercise of my ministerial discretion, he insisted. And he was speaking Friday on Radio Jamaica's call-in program Hotline when he said that. And so he says there was, with respect to the allegations, he says, in one case, the applicant had been charged with a drug offense as a student in the United States, and that record had been expunged at the time of his gun application. And the word expunged there refers to essentially a cleaning of a record, or essentially restoring one's, removing whatever blot might have been by that name or beside that name. So that's on the one hand that he was expunged. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock.
Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. We've been doing it for 15 years. That's right. Join us on Thursdays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and at 9:55 p.m. Compliments of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. Educating, advocating, empowering. Under the Law, Thursdays on Power 106 FM.
RJR, Dina Group. It's a cross-country invasion.
Listen every Friday hits 92 FM rocks with our weekly invasion studio jam.
Powered by Chum Baton Grind, strengthen your back and make the attack.
Hosted by Scott the Thunder Wilson. Everybody put your hands in the air. Alongside the Corn Boss with music by DJ Xavier.
And featuring performances showcasing artists from the 4 regions of the 2022 cross-country invasion.
That's this and every March Friday we turn up the cross-country invasion.
It's a cross-country invasion. It's a cross-country invasion.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for holding. So in one case, Mr. Bunting says or essentially reiterates what the information that is already in the report, that the applicant had been charged with a drug offense as a student in the United States, and that record had been expunged, cleared, clean at the time of his gun application. So he no longer had any criminal related matter affixed to his name. Mr. Bunting said in the other case, allegations of child molestation made against the applicant were not reported to the police. So that's his contention. So he says there was nothing corroborating that. On the other hand, he says there was a recommendation on the same case by the FLA investigator that the applicant is fit for the granting of such license and that he had previously held and maintained an impeccable record, and given the nature of his employment, the applicant should be favorably considered. My recollection, says Mr. Bunting, is that he was employed to the private security industry. So it was literally the man's livelihood we were talking about, argued Mr. Bunting. In the meantime, Mr. Bunting has suggested removing responsibility of giving final approval for gun licenses from the National Security Minister. Does that change your mind or your thought or your position one way or another?
No, because it leads me more question on this one. Because the question I would like to ask the Integrity Commission, are they misguided in their report? Did they not see in that report with what Mr. Bunting said? So those are the questions I would like to get cleared up.
Yes, so it could very well be that the Integrity Commission holds people like Mr. Bunting and Mr. Montague to a higher standard by virtue of the nature of the allegations with respect to the 2 people that Mr. Bunting had anything to do with, and how he himself sees that situation and others see it as well as not being as egregious as Bobby Montague's decisions.
But the point that would we get any further explanation from the Integrity Commission?
That's a good question as to whether they'll say anything else other than the report that they've already released. One would imagine up to now they haven't responded to the initial or subsequent public utterances of Messrs. Bunting and Montague, and up to now they haven't said anything outside of the report they have published. Clearly, they are standing by their report.
Somewhere lies the truth.
Say that again.
Somewhere lies the truth.
From where? Yeah, well, they have done their investigations and they have come to some conclusions, and those conclusions have been published. And one of the two former national security ministers has accepted that, well, I don't know the reason for his resignation, whether according to him, I think he's going to be taking care of some other matters, or almost like taking time to take himself away from the situation. Um, as opposed to, I don't know if it was, I don't think we have had it anywhere where he resigned necessarily because of what happened at the FLA in terms of his decisions.
But the
So,
point is, maybe he shall return.
oh yes, politicians always return, one way or another. Because the thing is, do you hang someone forever?
No.
That's the thing, and it's a matter of how the society, how much space or room the society is prepared to give those who occupy certain positions when they run afoul of the law, or they engage in some form of maladministration.
Yeah.
So it's a function of how much room the society is prepared to give them, and that's the basis on which some kind of determination is made as to when they can come back into the fold. And there's a feeling that there needs to be a level of contrition, a level of regret, and a general resolve to change one's ways going forward in terms of how one holding political office or state office should comport themselves.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for your input.
My pleasure, sir.
All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sir Marco.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm giving thanks for life. And you?
I am also giving thanks for life. Happy to be alive and to be well and to be able to show word to you. As I heard the gentleman, and I didn't hear the initial part of the questions and the story, but I picked up and I asked the part where he was asked some questions about the firearm thing we two former ministers of
National security. Yes.
And yeah, and I think he kind of said something about return. I think some statement that PG made many years ago about I shall return, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you answered by saying they are going to return at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But incidentally, though, it is kind of not so nice, not so pretty that the minister who has withdrawn himself from office,
yes,
would have had a series of issues from one ministry to another,
Yes, that's very well documented.
Until finally he hears that he has recused himself from his thing. I was related to what Peter Bunting has said about one man who was expunged after a particular time. Yes, I'm aware that people can get expungement. I think it was after 7 years one time. I think it's now down to 5 years.
Well, this expungement was in the United States, as I understand it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest with you, as you ask the question, are we going to hold them at bay forever? And there you are. If someone has committed a crime 15, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, and has qualified himself or herself, and has decided, hey, I'm going to change my way of life, I'm a new man, I'm a new woman, and it's been expunged. Hey, I don't know that the same law should deny him of any privilege that he should get, like any other normal.
Yes, because the expungement is like a reset.
Exactly. Exactly. And my point to that now is, Peter Bunting has said, one man, it was an allegation, somebody said, molest somebody, never reported to the police, there was no case. How do you hold it against me? You can't hold against me.
Worse yet, nobody probably might have gone to the FLA board to say, hey, why the man never quit to the final man. You know, the man to do what I think you are doing, but never. Hold him to books. How do you just use that against a citizen? So the Integrity Commission really need to come out and to speak out, you know, because people are calling for Peter Bunting to resign as
Opposition spokesman on national security and as a leader of opposition business in the Senate.
And Senator. And people are calling for him to resign. But listen, a lot of us probably are not even aware that the things he have said about the man who got expunged and the other one who is an allegation and they were never a court issue. And the police never reports to yes, you have to come to police station and get bail and all of that. So you use those things to hold against the citizen of Jamaica? You can't. So the Integrity Commission needs to come out to say it's true if our investigation was deep enough, if this is what really exists, as Peter Bunting has said, so that some of us who are out here judging.
But remember now, the Integrity Commission isn't I'll have to go back to their, I'll see if I can find the original, because I'm trying to remember. I think what was done was a series of investigations were done, and the Integrity Commission has now published its findings. So people, sorry.
But in publishing its findings, Sir Michael, it said 2 ministers of government, yeah, would have given families to people who were not up to
who had adverse traces.
Criminal traces, yes. No, the two persons that wanted spoke to.
So you can't totally say there was no trace, but what is clear? Whatever is done cannot be undone. So even though your record was expunged, it was expunged because you had done something before that.
True.
Right? So you can't run away from that. It is a fact that something had happened.
True.
But obviously another thing happened subsequent to that, and that was the expungement.
And the expungement tells the country, tells the world that I committed a crime 15 years ago. I have been remorseful, I beg pardon. And I'm now a new man, I'm now a different man. And the law loves me after 7 years, and it is now down to 5 to get some people to say, yes, this is a new man, people sign documents. I get a JP to sign the document.
You know what would help though? Sorry to cut you, but you know what would help? If the person, for example, whose record was expunged, was to be subjected to an interview from a panel, so that panel can now satisfy itself. This is why it was fundamentally wrong to put that kind of power in the hands of a politician. It was just totally wrong, and that should never happen. That must change going forward. So what you could have now is this panel, which would be the same panel that would do the regular interrogation of why you should get a license, etc., right? So the individual with the expunged record now should then go before that appeal board, and the experts, and here these would have to be, I don't know, behavioral specialists, whether psychologists, psychiatrists, and other professionals, to have a conversation with this individual to get a sense of what is in the headspace right now, and if enough time has passed for this individual to have shed former behavior to move forward as a new person. I think that would make a difference. One moment, please.
Coast to Coast Concrete, the high quality concrete for fencing, roofing, foundation, and road surfacing.
876-754-7472. The time by Coast to Coast Concrete is
3:15.
Crime Stop Jamaica 311, Woodside District, Maypen, Clarendon, 8 p.m. Thursday, December 16, 2021. We need your help to solve the brutal murder of 55-year-old chef Marlene Stewart Campbell. Mrs. Campbell heard knocking on her door and opened it to find two men who shot her several times. The men ran from the scene. The reason for this murder is unknown. Crime Stop Jamaica is offering a total reward of $250,000 for information leading to the arrest and charge of these murderers. Call Crime Stop Jamaica 311. Solving crime pays.
Consumer Talks, educating and empowering consumers towards a more vigilant and confident consumer-friendly Jamaica. Join us every second and last Tuesday of each month at 9:35 on Real Business. Listen and learn about your rights and responsibilities. Learn how the CAC works to empower consumers in Jamaica. Consumer Talks, brought to you by the Consumer Affairs Commission. Protecting your rights, securing our future.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Right. So that thanks for holding that kind of approach would inspire a greater level of confidence that of as far as the process is concerned. But once politicians are in the mix,
We're now living in a country, and I'm using the word no because I love to tell people that back then when I became a young adult in the 70s, we were a much more militant people, I believe, but yet the statistics showed that only 20% of us could read and write well. Now, the statistics say about 87% of the people can read and write well. But this read and write that we can read and write well has pushed us into a position where we are more selfish than ever before in our life. That's how we have become as Jamaicans. And it has gotten worse. If we love this party or don't love that party. So all we want to hear is about, is the man a man from my party or the woman from my party or not from my party.
And that determines where your support goes, whether you support an argument or a position.
It's killing and it is hurting the country till it's hurt too bad.
Yes. Convenient morality.
Convenient morality. And it is so sad on the Dervan that so many of our people would have gone to university. Not like in this country when I went to college first and didn't have to pay. Gone to university and then pay their own money, go there. Like when I studied the second time. And these people, no government and no bad no vacation. And things are happening so terrible in the country from then to now. And they're still living here and they refuse to speak out as if somebody's going to take away my career or somebody's going to take away the education from me.
Except that, here's the thing. Sorry to cut you, but yes, people are free to express themselves in a free and democratic society, but they also have the right to remain silent in a manner of speaking. Because some of them will tell you, some of them will tell you that that's silent. Ever heard of a silent protest? That there are those who view their positions in that way.
But the country's going down the drain now. We are this year.
Well, we've been every time I hear somebody say that, I remember driving back from the country. I wasn't driving. Altie Hilton was driving, and we were listening. We're going out to do a broadcast. We're listening to Wilmot Mutty Perkins interviewing the Honorable Oliver Clark. And Mutty Perkins, as I remember the conversation, said something along the lines. At the time, Mr. Clark was president of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica. And he said, "Mr. Clark, don't you think Jamaica is in a crisis?" And Mr. Clark, in his usual inimitable way, said, "Mutty, from as far back as I can remember, Jamaica has always been in a crisis." Yeah. No, but the point is, the point is that for as long as we have people, and people who more often than not are driven by ego, ego, which I like to say is man's biggest problem, ego, ego. And every problem we have is a function of man and his ego, and man here being used in a generic way. And so it's those of us who know better. My thing again is those of us who know better, let's just do better. Let's see if we can take some people with us in a good way. Let's show some other people the way. Right? But outside of that, we will always have to deal with, because we're not a homogeneous people. We're not all the same. We don't think alike. We don't act alike, etc. But what we have to try and work on is a greater level of harmony and tolerance in our society. And that should help on the road to some semblance of unity, so that when we're, as a country, when something egregious happens, whether it's done by a politician, police, pastor, or public, that you can hear and feel that intensity, that people are upset and angered and are not prepared to put up with that kind of nonsense. Right? And that's the kind of, if we're not feeling that and hearing that, then we all just coil up in our little spaces and sitting and watching, as Dennis Brown's song says.
Well put, but Charlie, I want to leave you by saying though, I personally believe those of us who are a little more educated than others of us need to lead the charge. I want you to, don't you remember that boy, a government not poor. Because nobody love to say that a government. So when the PNP is in power, and a freedom government, or when the JP is in power, and a freedom government, I always tell people the government of the day is the government of the day, the government of Jamaica.
That's right.
The prime minister of the day is the prime minister of Jamaica. So anywhere you go, and somebody asks you, who is your prime minister? Hey, Andrew Willis is the prime minister.
Yes.
He's our prime minister.
And that's how it goes, one prime minister at a time.
Yeah, exactly. When more of us who are educated are willing to step up to the plate and say, look here, well, we really now want to lead us to fight. I would just allow from everything to be happening.
Yes.
I would just sit down quietly. And nobody now running from here going away. Okay, we just continue to sit here. Like that.
Yeah. We have to take responsibility. Only we the people, we are the ones we have been waiting on or waiting for. Thanks for the call. You too. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, at 876-922-4115. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your voice messages, but you can also, and your WhatsApp messages, of course, but you can also call us via WhatsApp. That number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. It's a bright and sunny day here, Tar Isle, St. Mary. Yeah, that sounds like a place I would love to be right now, Cherry Henry. Thank you very much. We're green with envy right now. Thanks for sharing. Jeannie Chambers, good afternoon to you. B. Jew is in New York. She says, good afternoon, Dervan and listeners. To you too. We should tell you, B. Jew, that the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network is heading to New York next week. They'll be in New York all week next week for the 7th. I think it's the 7th staging. I'm not looking at the information now. It's somewhere here. The 7th staging of the Jamaica Diaspora Education Task Force Education Summit. That's coming up all of next week. So there will be Jamaican members of the diaspora and those from Jamaica will meet in New York next week, all week next week. And you'll hear more if you keep listening to us right here on both sides of the story and the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. Bijou, thank you for your message. Inez Iona Campbell says, good afternoon, everyone. Now I can say welcome to standing in line for over 3 hours at the bank. Lord help us. So no road, then water going to waste, and spending all day at the bank. I am so ready to head back home to the USA. Still love Jamaica. Just too much time wasted. We're with you on that. We're with you on that. The time wasting. In fact, if we didn't have to keep an eye out for those who are looking to reap where they have not sown, then I would suggest that we take a book with us when we have to do business with these institutions so we can read. We can feed the brain while we wait. Of course, most people these days prefer to use their cell phones, their smartphones and tablet devices. And that way, so a lot of the heads are usually buried in the devices. But it's not totally safe depending on where you are. It's one thing if you're in the bank. It's another thing if you're on the outside. And even then, if at some point you would go in and have to come out, and you have a situation, sadly, well, we're encouraged that the gentleman survived, but the man who went to do business in Tropical Plaza at Sagicor and exited the bank, and two reprobates on a motorcycle proceeded to rob him and shoot him, to rob the man and shoot him there. And so I'm not saying that he wasn't paying attention, not at all. We wouldn't say that. But just a reminder for us to keep. I know it's very tempting. There is so much happening on social media and everywhere, and everybody wants to say, yeah, man, me see the video. Hey, you see the video, etc. We understand all of that. And it's easy to get carried away with the technology. But when we're in public places, we need to have our wits about us. We need to have a level of awareness. Who is in front of us? Who is behind us? Who is to the left of us? Who or what is to the left of us? Who or what is to the right of us? Have that level of awareness, because you never know who is watching and looking to pounce. So we need to be mindful of these things. But yes, we waste a lot of time in Jamaica standing in line. We waste a lot of time in Jamaica standing in line. And we have to do better. Yes, we know it's COVID-19 time and we can't have the same number of people. The pre-COVID numbers are a no-no at this time. We understand that. But geez, can we get people who really love what they're doing and are excited by their work and are excited by service and helping people? And so we feel that energy, so that even if we had to wait a bit, by the time we interact with a member of the team, we feel so much better. That's part of what is missing. That's part of what makes it so miserable to do business in entities in Jamaica. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I experienced it twice today. Doing business twice today, I experienced that. These people are not serious about business. But then again, they will tell you it's not for them business, right? They just happen to be working there. One moment, please.
Importers provide
both sides of the story. Good afternoon.
Goods for examination. This could prevent delays during clearance.
Yes,
The
sir.
time by
Thanks for
Jamaica Customs
calling. We're on a
Agency.
break.
3:30.
Can you hold it, please?
Consumer Talks, educating and empowering
All right.
consumers towards a more vigilant and confident consumer-friendly Jamaica. Join us every second and last Tuesday of each month at 9:35 on Real Business. Listen and learn about your rights and responsibilities. Learn how the CAC works to empower consumers in Jamaica. Consumer Talks, brought to you by the Consumer Affairs Commission, protecting your rights, securing our future.
Yes, you see that somewhere.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, at 876-922-4115, the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your voice notes, your WhatsApp messages, but you can also call us via WhatsApp, 876-365-3346. We have a caller on WhatsApp, so let's hear what he has to say. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Someone coming down, everything's okay?
We're giving thanks for life. How are things with you and yours?
Well, I'm doing the same.
Good.
Anyhow, I want to make some quick points here. I think some time ago I mentioned about the director of investigation. They asked me where we work. Now, with this gun license thing, I finally find where we work. Them say I'm working in the office of the Integrity Commission. And I think this man I think he's doing an excellent job. So some of those long time case that we hear about investigation and nothing we hear again, he can dig up some of those files and make we hear what's going on. I love that name. So I want to hear more often in the news when something you hear about investigation, because with this gun license case, it says 5-year MC on this case before it comes to light. And I love that job. He's doing an excellent job.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
I
it?
hear something happen and you don't say to investigate and never hear nothing about it again. So I think him should pick up some of the old file and make hear what's going on.
All right. That's it?
Yeah, man, he's doing an excellent job, man. So if I should see him and shake him up and I say excellent job, boss. He's doing an excellent job. So I want to hear more of him in the news.
All right.
Okay, boss.
Thanks for the call.
Come here to work, you know.
All right. Have a good day at work. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Roy Lawrence asks, why not train more nurses rather importing retired people? Well, the decision makers, we would like to think, are sufficiently schooled in these matters and therefore are well placed to make appropriate decisions. Unless when we see the outcomes, we are aghast or otherwise flabbergasted by those decisions, then we begin to question the decision makers. Michael from Belle Plaine, Clarendon, is greeting everybody as usual. More power, Power 106 family. I'm here in amazement looking at my garbage. I do not know what to do. It's months now. Keep safe, teacher. Well, give us some more information. So this is Michael in Belle Plaine telling us that there's a lot of garbage, uncollected waste, uncollected garbage. Can the authorities check out Belle Plaine in Clarendon, please? Michael, if you can give us more specific information, please do. so we can publicize the information. Let's see who else is messaging us. Kurt in Mandeville says, good evening. It's still afternoon, Kurt, here in Jamaica. Good afternoon. If a person's criminal record has been expunged, how does the past conviction become public knowledge? Well, it does. It does make a difference in some cases. If you recall, there was a situation where a female was put in charge of a particular arm of the state, an agency, an entity of the state, and it was a position which required a level of a high level of decorum and no traces of criminal activities, etc. And the individual in the interview for that position failed to disclose that that she had a checkered past. She failed to disclose that information, and it came back to haunt her, and she eventually had to move away from that position. So from that standpoint, it is important. It is important. And there's a lawyer as well in this country who had a past that he would love to forget and forget quickly. But again, he went through the process and reinvented himself, and he is now one of the sought-after lawyers in Jamaica. But most people know his story. His story has been told, and people are satisfied that he has served his time and has demonstrated up to now that he was serious when he took that initial decision to turn over a new leaf. The message goes on further. If it has been expunged, why is it still being held against the person? Well, it's a part of your record. It's what we have always said. It is written, and work done, whether good or bad, cannot be undone. So the chair to my left is in that position right now. So the chair is there. If somebody moves that chair and puts it somewhere else, it doesn't change the fact that the chair was there, right? So it happened. So you can't erase it. It happened. It happened. And we're not perfect. To err is human. And where we have fallen, we dust ourselves off, get up, and do what is necessary to move forward in a positive way. Thank you for your message, Kurt, in Mandeville, Manchester, here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Violet White to Inez Iona Campbell says, waited 3 hours to get tested for COVID in USA. Just saying. So she has played the ball back in your court, Inez Iona Campbell. So Inez Iona Campbell was saying that she was standing. She says, welcome to standing in line for more than 3 hours at the bank. Lord help us. So no road then, no water. Because remember, she complained, was it yesterday, about the road problem, about the water problem, water running to waste. And so she said she was ready to head back to the USA, still love Jamaica, just too much time wasted. So Violet White is now saying, Inez Iona Campbell, waited 3 hours to get tested for COVID in USA. Just saying. So there you go. So the two are in that conversation right now. Oliver Masters says, what's that? Cut. Not sure what that is. Tell us what that is, please, Oliver. Wayne Golding Sr., Esquire, CD, JD says, I think the white elephant in the room is what people don't want to really ask. Was there were there nefarious reasons for the decisions made by people in positions of power? Do we trust our decision makers? And the answer is not all of us. Not all of us. Over one of the clippings over my desk is that of a survey that was done to test the trust levels in Jamaica. And it made for fascinating reading. And so it's still there over my desk at home. The trust factor, can't escape it. Inez Ayona Campbell responds now to Violet and says, I know about the COVID line then. Now is better banking. It's a joke here. Now is better banking is a joke. All right. I think we get the essence of what you're saying, Inez Ayona Campbell. Yeah, we try to avoid these lines, quite frankly. We have been, ever since COVID-19, we have been trying to avoid these lines like the plague. And we've been managing. Some more messages coming through. Karine, Natalie says, hi all. Hi, Natalie Winter from Washington Gardens. Karine is greeting us as well. She says, Mr. Malcolm, please could you remind when the West Indies women will be playing their next match and who will be their opponent? Let's see if we can bring that up, courtesy of Cricinfo. West Indies women, next match. When is that next match? Let's go down the line. Series, Women's World Cup. And let's scroll across now for the matches. Taking a while to load. Must be quite a lot. Angela Pink says, hi. Hi, Angela Pink. Good to see you. And we're still waiting on the information to load, Karine, with respect to West Indies women versus whichever other team. So let's, do we have it now? Yes, I think we do. So let's see what we have here. So the next match that the West Indies women will be involved in will be on Thursday the 17th. That's Thursday coming, right? Yes, this Thursday. And that's going to be against Bangladesh. So Bangladesh women versus West Indies women, Thursday afternoon at 5. Surely they can take care of Bangladesh. Surely. Well, let's wait and see. Hope you got that bit of information. Who is that now? That's Karine. And Karine has sent us another message. Karine says, Mr. Malcolm, or asks, Mr. Malcolm, is there something that can be done to Flatbridge? Can the government do something or not? It's very scary. I don't know. The closest we have come to doing something about Flatbridge is when we had rails on Flatbridge, but those didn't last. Nothing is fundamentally wrong with the area. It can be and has been successfully negotiated for a very long time. We doubt anything significant will be done to the bridge at this stage. What we have heard of is this discussion about damming the gorge. That would be what, hydroelectricity. So there is some plan there. Don't know if that will. Well, there was a plant there in the first place anyway. It's now in ruins, as far as I know, and it remains to be seen what will become of that area. But there is an alternative route right now, and that is where most people are driving. Karine Campbell says, thanks for the information. You're welcome. Speaking of information, we just saw a pop-up, because you know the banter and the argy-bargy. Those are not even the appropriate terms. The animosity between. Let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:46 on Power 106.
Manage your waste and save. Learn more about various wastewater systems for farms and residential use, assistance in getting NEPA licenses, and monitoring and characterization of your wastewater. Tune in to Real Business this and every Tuesday at 10 a.m. for Manage Your Waste and Save. Brought to you by the Scientific Research Council Wastewater Management Services. Environmentally conscious, responsive, and solution-oriented. That's Manage Your Waste and Save. Listen to every Tuesday at 10 a.m. during Real Business, right here on Power 106 FM.
Both Sides of the Story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Stories from Jamaica and across the world, keeping you informed on the issues of the day and more. It's Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm, weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Learn interesting facts and trivia. Participate in lively discussions on affairs locally and internationally. Hear the stories of business, philanthropy, and more from Jamaicans at home and abroad on Both Sides of the Story. Come tell your side of the story. Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm, on a mission to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Weekdays 2 to 5 p.m. live on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
The dangers of covering the news in a war. A Fox News cameraman and a Ukrainian journalist have been killed by an artillery shelling by Russian troops while reporting on the war in Ukraine. Pierre Zakrzewski, that's Pierre Zakrzewski, was working with correspondent Benjamin Hall when their vehicle was hit in the northeastern part of the village of Gorenka near Kyiv. Fox News announced the attack and Mr. Hall's injury yesterday by saying the reporter was injured while news gathering outside of Kyiv in Ukraine. Ukrainian journalist Alexandra Kuvshinova was also reported to be killed in the attack. Oh dear. So that's another one of the casualties, or a couple of the casualties of war. Journalists who are on the front line trying to cover what's happening. And there's also the story of the Russian leader signing a law allowing the seizure of foreign planes for domestic flights. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has signed a law that will allow for foreign planes to be seized and used domestically as tensions grow between Russia and the international community over its invasion of Ukraine. Foreign aircraft companies that previously rented to Russia and have since stopped doing business with the country due to sanctions could see their aircraft taken by Moscow and operated within the country under the new law, according to the report. But high levels of maintenance are required for passenger jets, and plane support and maintenance have been blocked under the sanctions, meaning that the new law will only have some impact. So all kinds of machinations are taking place on the front lines and the sidelines. Let's go back to WhatsApp and see what's up on WhatsApp. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. That's the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. And the lines are still open, 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. And so far, there's another. The Gleaner has updated its stream of stories. There's been a double murder in Green Pond, St. James. Investigators attached to the Major Investigations Division are probing the shooting deaths of a teen and a man in Green Pond, St. James last night. The deceased are 19-year-old O'Neill Telwell, otherwise called CJ, unemployed, of Bridgetown in Green Pond, and a man who is believed to be in his early 20s. The unidentified man is said to be of a fair complexion, slim build, and was wearing a pair of blue and yellow shorts. The police report that about 10 p.m., Telwell and the unidentified man were at a section of the Green Pond community called Sharon Hill when they were pounced upon by armed men who opened fire. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, they were discovered suffering from gunshot wounds. They were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. So that's one of the latest stories. Coming out of Parliament as well, there is a story of the leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, taking issue with the government that the People's National Party, PNP, was not consulted about the new and upgraded banknotes which were unveiled last week. Golding asserted that the approach reflects a deeper issue of arrogant governance, as the proposed design involves powerful symbolism that affects some of the PNP's political leaders. No consultation. They just brought it here last Tuesday with a whole bag of hype. That is not how we build a better understanding. That is not how you promote togetherness. That is not how we work together. That is disrespect. And yes, we know the Prime Minister wants his mentor, Mr. Edward Siaga, on a banknote, Golding said in his contribution to the budget debate in Parliament today. Golding argued that the new banknotes are a distraction from the real issues that are biting the people. How do new banknotes help our people who are trying to survive day to day, living from hand to mouth? How is it relevant at a time like this? It will do nothing to help the people ride out the storm. As one man told me, it will not put one more dumpling in the pot, Golding lamented. Prime Minister Andrew Holness rose on a point of order, explaining that there was no consideration regarding the well-known and close relationship that I have had with Mr. Siaga as an impetus or a reason or a cause for him to be added to our currency. Holness said Siaga is on the banknote because he deserves to be there. The Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, will roll out a new $2,000 note in the coming months, which will bear the images of former Prime Ministers Edward Siaga and Michael Manley. Holness added that the government does not make national decisions on a political basis. The look and structure of the current notes will also be upgraded to feature all national heroes and deceased prime ministers. The move coincides with Jamaica's 60th year of independence. But last week, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark said the current structure of the notes, which does not allow for durability, prompted the change. Clark had also said technical studies have shown that there is need for the introduction of a currency denomination between the $1,000 and $5,000 notes. Let's check if the sitting is still on. See if we can get a bit of that presentation by the opposition leader here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls still on 876-922-411225. Let's hear a bit of what opposition leader Mark Golding has been saying.
Requires that we change this. Madam Speaker, the government wishes to split off Portmore as a separate parish from St. Catherine. But will this benefit the people of Portmore? Portmore now enjoys the benefit of being Jamaica's only city municipality, which gives its people the legal right to directly elect their mayor. It is a unique right in Jamaica, which does not apply to parishes. Why is the government so determined to deprive them of this right? Furthermore, Portmore does not have many of the facilities and amenities that parishes have. It has no parish court, no hospital, no market, no cemetery. Yet the government is rushing to make Portmore a parish without these facilities. Why? Why is the government doing this? The answer, Madam Speaker, is clear and simple. It would suit their short-term political ends. That's why. Our position is that the people of Portmore must be consulted fulsomely on the impacts of any such move, and the decision should then be theirs to take via a referendum. That is our position. Madam Speaker, the brilliant actress Lupita Nyong'o said, "No matter where you're from, your dreams are valid." The Jamaican dream is for all of us, from Trenchtown to Norbrook, from Granville to Montego Bay Freeport, from Moko to Cherry Gardens. We are the land of Marcus Garvey, Miss Lou, Bob Marley. We are the land of Herb McKinley, Donald Quarry, Usain Bolt, Shelley and Fraser Price, Elaine Thompson. We are the land of many other great icons who we can always draw on for inspiration and courage. The Jamaican dream is of a society in which it does not matter where in this country you were born and raised. It does not matter where you go to school. It does not matter how you look or how you talk. It does not matter if you have money or powerful connections. Where all that really matters are your values, your attitudes, and your willingness to work to achieve success in life. That is the Jamaican dream. That is the Jamaican dream.
We'll break away from the opposition leader's presentation and come back with more here on Both Sides of the Story.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. This is Time Stop. How may I help?
You know them birds have illegal gun, but me know what them know say I need talk.
Don't worry, sir. Crime Stop is privately funded and run by the PSOJ. Everything reported here is anonymous. It's just like you're invisible.
What about the reward?
We provide cash rewards for information that leads to an arrest or recovery. We'll stash the cash wherever you like, so nobody will ever find out.
All right, me tell you.
Make the call. Crime Stop 311. Solving crime pays.
RJR, Greener Group. It's a cross-country invasion.
Both Sides of the Story with host Dervan Malcolm makes a stop in Clarendon this Thursday, March 17, as the RJR Greener Communications Group continues its cross-country tour as we showcase the best of Jamaica at 60. Join us from the Go Gas petrol station, Kellett's Clarendon, from 2 to 5 p.m. This broadcast is brought to you by main sponsors, Grace Foods, Sunshine Snacks, Guardian Life, Digicel Foundation, associate sponsors, Hypro Ace, Gateway Cooperative Credit Union, Statistical Institute of Jamaica, H&L Rapid True Value and H&L Agro, Trinback Tonic Wine, Caribbean School of Medical Science Jamaica, and Guardian General Insurance. Manage your waste and save. Learn more about various wastewater systems for farms and residential use, assistance in getting NEPA licenses, and monitoring and characterization of your wastewater. Tune in to Real Business this and every Tuesday at 10 a.m. for Manage Your Waste and Save. Brought to you by the Scientific Research Council Wastewater Management Services, environmentally conscious, responsive, and solution-oriented. That's Manage Your Waste and Save. Listen to every Tuesday at 10 a.m. during Real Business, right here on Power 106
Still on?
FM.
Finish? ¿Qué hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:02. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4 heures de Cienzai. TDN le CDN Ling R Fen. 2 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your WhatsApp messages, your text messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Karine Campbell says, I strongly agree with you that we can defeat Bangladesh, although we're not underestimating them. And that's the Women's World Cup in the 50-over cricket tournament. So they've won 2 and lost 2, I believe. So they beat the host nation, New Zealand. They beat the defending champions, England. They lost against... Who did they lose against? Was it South Africa? No, not South Africa. India. They lost against India. And they also lost against, their most recent loss was against Australia. So that's their record so far. And their next match is against Bangladesh on Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock. We wish them well. Thank you for your message, Karine. Karine also says, Mr. Malcolm, I don't like the $5,000 note at all, because if you're not very careful, you give away the $5,000 note for $500, especially at nights. Yeah, we concur, Karine. We recall going to a supermarket to pick up just a couple of items, actually. I wasn't shopping. I just went to pick up a couple of items. And I gave the cashier a $5,000 note, and I got back what I thought was my change. So I just put it in my pocket and went about my merry way until at some point later in the day, I had the need to reach for my pocket. So I reached for my pocket to take out some money, and then it hit me. Something is not right here. Why? Where's the rest of the money? And then, eureka. A good thing I don't throw away receipts either. My mother taught me that a long time. I keep all my receipts. And I recall, I said, hold on. You know, it looked as if this cashier mistook my $5,000 note for a $500 note. So I went straight back to the supermarket, to the same cashier, and she brought it to the attention of one of the supervisors. And the record was there to show that she cashed a $5,000 note for a $500. She cashed a $5,000 note for a $500 note. So she thought it was a $500 note. But anyway, long and short of it, I got the rest of my money, and I was out of there. It's true that both, they're a little too close. The $500 note and the $5,000 note, a little too close for comfort. And that is going to change soon. But for a lot of people, that is pure cosmetics, and there are other critical matters to deal with. Thank you for your message, Karine, and all the very best. Let's go now to Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Well, he's doing his usual shout out. Here's another message, though, on WhatsApp. Hi, Dervan. Is the government still going forward with that wrong picture of Paul Bogle? I noticed it will still be on the new banknotes to be published. I'm wondering how long will they take to address this matter? Why don't they let an artist do a drawing similar to those of Nanny of the Maroons and Sam Sharp? Well, that's pretty much what they did, except that the image turned out to be that of Mr. Jennings. What's his first name again? Jennings. And so that's the contention. Thomas Jennings. That's the image. The image is that of Thomas Jennings, not an original bona fide image of Paul Bogle. And no, it doesn't seem as if that matter is going to be addressed or whether that is going to change anytime soon. It's just one of those pieces of history. It's like the clock that was meant for St. Lucia and ends up in Lucy in Hanover. Just one of those things. And nobody bothered to bring the clock to where it was supposed to go in the first place. I think they paid some money, though, to keep it. They actually paid some money to keep the clock in Jamaica, as opposed to it being forwarded to St. Lucia. So maybe it was a mix-up between Lucy and Lucia. Lucy in Hanover and St. Lucia, the country. That's that. Let's see. Right, so let's read the rest of this message. Why don't they let, we read that part already. Bogle must have present relatives or pics of relatives that they could use to do a drawing representing him. I think there was something along those lines that was done, Not sure if they followed through. They need to look into this. This has to be corrected. Well, we have never heard any government representative taking on this issue over all these years. Well, I've certainly, in my short time on this earth, I haven't heard it. Any government uh, representative stating definitively what happened and why this is so, and whether they'll be doing anything about it going forward. We perhaps should not hold our breath for this one because it's been this way for a long time. So it's that time of the cycle when we have all kinds of uh, price increases due to the environment, from COVID until now with Ukraine, Russia hostilities, etc. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, is telling us this afternoon that the All Jamaica Consumer Price Index increased by 0.8% for February 2022, as released today by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin. This movement was largely impacted by the 1.3% increase in the index for the heavily weighted food and non-alcoholic beverages division. Of course, because we have to eat, right? And drink too. The increase in the division food and alcoholic beverages was mainly attributed to the 2.2% increase in the index for the class meat and other parts of slaughtered land animals. Meat, so we're not going to have a flood of people rushing to become vegetarians or vegans anytime soon, because what this is showing is that there is no abating in the consumption of meat and other parts of slaughtered land animals. That is where the 2.2% increase came from. The increase in the division food and non-alcoholic beverages was mainly attributed to the 2.2% increase in the index for the class meat and other parts of slaughtered land animals. So we're not going to stop eating meat anytime soon. And why the increase? Because the one meat that we can't eat enough of is chicken. And the price of chicken has gone up. Hence, that 2.2% increase in the index. We have no doubt whatsoever that the leading meat is chicken meat. We have no doubt about that. We don't need to be statisticians to figure that out. Because no, we eat chicken for breakfast. So stew chicken for breakfast. Maybe fried chicken for lunch. And then barbecue chicken for dinner. You get the picture. And you carry that right throughout the week. It's inescapable, it seems. You don't have a food business without chicken. Mind you, there are those who are doing well. There is, what's the name of this place? Goodness. I think, is it Muta Baruka who has an eatery? Yeah, I think he has a place, Is it his place? Trying to remember the name of it. But they do have places, more places in Jamaica that are selling other varieties of food. But but there's no doubt whatsoever with respect to the tremendous consumption of chicken meat in this country. So that's where the increase, that's what has caused the increase. Because of the increase in the price of chicken meat, there's an increase in the division of the areas that they calculate to come up with the CPI. That division, food and non-alcoholic beverages, due mainly to the 2.2% increase in the index for the class meat and other parts of slaughtered land animals due to increased prices for chicken products. Also contributing to the upward movement in that division was the 1.0% increase in the index for the class vegetables, tubers, plantains, cooking bananas, and pulses. This word here, pulse or pulses, It refers to, I'm trying to remember, a particular kind of food. Let's see. It has to do with, right, it's the edible seed of a leguminous plant. The edible seed of a leguminous plant. That's what is known as a pulse.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
In need of a locksmith? Call LockSafe and Vault Limited, the experts in the business, specializing in safes, vault doors, cash protector units, locks, crowd control, and locksmith services. LockSafe and Vault Limited, 40 Shortwood Road, Kingston 8. Telephone 924-555-023 or 924-01245.
RJR, Dina Group. It's a cross-country invasion.
Power Talk with host Simon Crossgill focuses on the parish of Manchester this Wednesday, March 16th,
Is he going?
11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as the RJR Gleaner Group continues its cross-country tour. The best of Jamaica at 60. Tune in as he shares the success stories and issues facing the parish, as well as speak to our cross-country tour partners. This broadcast is brought to you by main sponsors, Grace Foods, Sunshine Snacks, Guardian Life, Digicel Foundation, associate sponsors, Hyper Ace, Gateway Cooperative Credit Union, Statistical Institute of Jamaica, H&L Rapid True Value and H&L Agro, Tramback Tonic Wine, Caribbean School of Medical Science Jamaica, and Guardian General Insurance.
RJR, Dina Group. It's a cross-country invasion.
Listen every Friday, Hits 92 FM rocks with our weekly Invasion Studio Jam.
Powered by Tramback Tonic Wine. Strengthen your back and make the attack.
Hosted by Scott the Thunder Wilson. Everybody put your hands in the air. Alongside the Corn Boss with music by DJ Xavier.
And featuring performances showcasing artists from the 4 regions of the 2022 cross-country invasion.
That's this and every March Friday we turn up the cross-country invasion.
It's a cross-country invasion. It's a cross-country invasion.
Ooh, yeah. Trapped. Ooh, yeah. Trapped. Ooh, yeah. Trapped. Ooh, yeah. ¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:18. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4h18. Ciencia, TDN le, ODN. Let's do that again. Ciencia, TDN le, CDN, 18 CDN, 18 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Let's clear some more messages here on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. But first, let's finish the information on the Consumer Price Index. So it's, let's bring up the, right. So we were saying that apart from the 2.2% increase in the index for the class of meat and other parts of slaughtered land animals, which was due to increased prices for chicken products, there was also an upward movement in the area an upward movement of 1% in the index for the class vegetables, tubers, plantains, cooking bananas, and pulses. And we were sharing with you the what is referred to as pulses, and these are edible, the edible seed of a leguminous plant. The edible seed of a leguminous plant. For example, chickpea, lentil, or bean, those regarded as pulses. So in that category, and we know in medical terms the reference to the pulse, right, and all of that. But this is food now. And so there was a 1% price increase in the category for vegetables, tubers, plantains, cooking bananas, and pulses, as prices increased for some vegetables. However, this movement was moderated by the fall in prices for some starchy produce. So the starches, there was a reduction in the price for starchy foods. So we're talking, what are we talking now? Like the grains, I believe, would be included. Never mind the fact that those prices are going to rise, or perhaps have started to rise. The whole grains, the grain pasta, the minimally processed vegetables. Those are some of the some of the items. So I'm not sure why, but there is, but that category went down. That category went down, and that was, wonder if the shortage has started to take hold. But in any case, if it is going down, then the chances are, well, we'll have to look into that one. But that is how the numbers played out. So once again, the All Jamaica Consumer Price Index increased by 0.8% for February 2022, and the movement was largely impacted by the 1.3% increase in the index for the heavily weighted food and non-alcoholic beverages division. And as we have said, included in that division is, you have the meat and other parts of slaughtered land animals. And there's a natural push there because of the increase in the price of chicken. So that is what pushed up the number, the 2.2%. And then also in the index for the class vegetables, tubers, plantains, cooking bananas, and pulses, there was a 1% increase. But that movement was moderated, or the impact was lessened, you could say, by the fall in prices, or so there was some kind of a balance thereafter, by the fall in prices for some starchy produce. The inflation rate was also impacted, a 0.9% increase in the index for the housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels division. And that's due to increases in the rates for electricity. Remember, we read that letter from the JPS to its customers, and plus water and sewage. Andrew Cannon was on radio today, Andrew Cannon of the National Water Commission, about the reliance of the NWC on oil to power their water systems, and the fact that we're going to be negatively affected in that area. So there's that. So electricity increases in the rates of electricity, water, and sewage. Also contributing to the upward movement in the inflation rate was a similar 0.9% increase in the index for the transport division, as a result of higher prices for fuels. And not just that, because the fuel prices have always been, they up and down, up and down. But also the fact that there is more movement now. There's more transportation of people now. What with the resumption of face-to-face classes, so parents and guardians and drivers of public passenger vehicles and so on and so forth, their movements have been multiplied. So whereas when you were working from home or the children were at home, you wouldn't have to drive them to school and back or make other arrangements in that regard. No, all of that is pretty much coming back, and we need to be careful. Pay attention to China. Take sleep mark that, as my late mother would say. See, China is experiencing some kind of a surge right now at this stage, when it looked as if most places in the world were experiencing a slowing down of the numbers, etc. So let us be careful. Let us continue to be careful here in Jamaica and don't take it for granted. Right. Let's are we finished with the inflation and related matters? What did we miss? Right. So that the housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels. All right, let's go back to where we left off. Also contributing to the upward movement in the inflation rate was a similar 0.9% increase in the index for the transport division as a result of higher prices for fuels. There are still some service stations not doing too badly, in terms of their prices. Yeah, there's one around the road from here. Price is not bad, which is why people, what we saw? When was this? We came upon, it was when we did, what did we do? When we did the interviews after the VM post-budget discussion forum. And we were finished here at what time was that? That was after 8 o'clock. And came upon a tremendous amount of traffic on Beechwood Avenue. And I was there wondering as the late Monty Perkins would say, what the devil is going on here? So I was wondering what the devil was going on. And then as I slowly went along, I realized it was traffic jam to get to Johnson's Petroleum on Beechwood Avenue. Traffic jam, crazy traffic. Couldn't believe it. This was on the Wednesday, wasn't it? I think it was the Wednesday, right? I think it was the Wednesday evening. So people are prepared to go the distance when it comes on to getting a deal. If you know that people are selling their products at reasonable prices, it doesn't matter how much gas you have to burn to get to them. In a manner of speaking, you get the picture. Where you're going to go the extra mile to make sure that is where you make your purchase, because that is where you get value for money. And so, yeah, there you go. First, can we summarize now? Let's see. So the point-to-point inflation rate, that's when you hear point-to-point, in this case, we're referring to February 2021. It's usually a year, February 2021 to February 2022. So the point-to-point inflation rate, February 2021 to February 2022, was 10.7%, which was, let's tell you some more in just a moment.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. The National Irrigation Commission Limited encourages efficient irrigation practices and responsible use of water. By doing so, we will allow the aquifer to be recharged and keep the supply flowing. A message from the National Irrigation Commission Limited. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
RJR, Greener Group. It's a cross-country invasion.
Power Talk with host Simon Crossgill focuses on the parish of Manchester this Wednesday, March 16 from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as the RJR Gleaner Group continues its cross-country tour. The best of Jamaica at 60. Tune in as he shares the success stories and issues facing the parish, as well as speak to our cross-country tour partners. This broadcast is brought to you by main sponsors, Grace Foods, Sunshine Snacks, Guardian Life, Digicel.
Which one is this again? Which OB is this?
Sponsors, Hyper
Power Talk?
Gateway Cooperative Credit Union,
Okay.
Statistical Institute of Jamaica, H&L Rapid True Value and H&L Agro, Tranvac Tonic Wine, Caribbean School of Medical Science Jamaica, and Guardian General Insurance.
Walking out again. Oh, yes, you know that I'll be walking out again.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 28. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 28. Tiens, Tidian le, Wu Dian, Sha Ar Shur Ba Fen. 28 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And we thank you all for watching on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Thanks to those who have been subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel and share it as well. Thanks to those of you who are already on board. All the very best. All right, let's wrap up the information from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica. So the point-to-point inflation rate, that's February 2021 to February 2022, was 10.7%. This was influenced by the inflation rate for the divisions food and non-alcoholic beverages, 12.8%, housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels, 10.4%, and transport, 14.2%. The fiscal year-to-date inflation rate was 10.1%. The fiscal year-to-date inflation rate was 10.1%. And so that's the picture. That's the bigger picture, the consumer price index. If you still don't get it for whatever reason, and that's fine if you don't get it, the consumer price index, otherwise known as the CPI, measures changes in the general level of prices for consumer goods and services. So the experts at Statin, they know what to look for. They know they've been doing this for a long time. They're seasoned, and they gauge the price movements, and they're able to disaggregate the numbers and analyze and tell us what is happening or not happening. So in summary, the highlights of the consumer price index data from Statin, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica. The inflation rate for February 2022 up 0.8%. Inflation rate for February 2022, 0.8%. And the factors, food and non-alcoholic beverages, 1.3%. That's food and non-alcoholic beverages, up 1.3%. Transport, 0.9%. Housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels, up 0.9%. The point-to-point inflation rate, that's February 2021 to February 2022, 10.7%. The fiscal year-to-date inflation rate, 10.1%. And it also breaks down the numbers into regional consumer price index percentage change. So 0.9% for the Greater Kingston metropolitan area, 0.8% for other urban areas, and also 0.8% for rural areas. We thank the Statistical Institute of Jamaica for their work. They have been at it for quite a long time, and they help us to make informed decisions by virtue of the work that they do. Well done, Statin. All the very best. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's see what we have here. Delarno Brown says, good day to you. Since, oops, where's the rest of that message? Right. Good day to you. Since COVID, I have started producing real Trelawney logwood. God, hold on. Let's do that again. Delarno Brown says, good day to you. Since COVID, I have started producing real Trelawney logwood, God bless, honey. So can you please let Jamaica know, and they can call me to buy. I can only deliver in large amounts. How convenient, Delarno Brown. Only, because I guess you have to pay a transportation costs, right? All right. So listeners, here is Delarno Brown, Delarno. Delarno Brown is telling us, and you know, on this program, we encourage, one of the legs we stand on when we do this program or anything we do in this life is to encourage entrepreneurship, to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. So here's an entrepreneur, Delarno Brown, apprising us of the fact that since COVID, he has started producing real Trelawney logwood, God bless, honey. So he wants us to let Jamaica know that they can call him to buy this real Trelawney logwood, God bless, honey. He says he can only deliver in large amounts. So here's the number for Delarno Brown, who is selling Trelawney, real Trelawney logwood, God bless, honey. 876-313-3457. That's 876-313-3457. Once again, if you want real Trelawney logwood, God bless, honey, Delarno Brown is encouraging you to buy from him. He says he can only deliver in large amounts. So if you only want a small amount, you can go to him. If you want a large amount, he will come to you. He will deliver. And the number for Delarno Brown is 876. If you need honey, 876-313-3457. 876-313-3457. We wish you luck, Delarno Brown. Sophia Nemard says, one morning, I decided not to cook chicken for breakfast, and I didn't sell one breakfast. Everybody just asked, what's on the menu, and leave. Yes, that's how we are when it comes on to chicken in this country. We are not chickens when it comes to chicken in Jamaica. Yes, I can well understand, Sophia. But Sophia, how could you have allowed me to travel all the way to St. Elizabeth a couple of Wednesdays ago and you didn't provide any breakfast at all? I had no idea you were in the food business. All the way to Newell in St. Elizabeth and not even some water from Sophia Nemard. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But we get the point you're making. If you don't have chicken, then you have nothing, it seems. That's how the customers view that situation. So it is. Velta Wilson in St. Thomas is online with us. She says Jamaicans love chicken bad, capital letters, especially certain brands of chicken or certain chicken meals from certain places, right? Oh boy, so it is. All right, let's clear some more messages here. Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon says Machine Shop Road, Belle Plaine. What happened to Miss? This is the address you're giving us. Is that it? What was the information earlier on? For the garbage that needs to be collected, Machine Shop Road. That's what he's telling us in Belle Plaine, Clarendon. Machine Shop Road. There's a pileup of garbage at Machine Shop Road in Belle Plaine, Clarendon. And Michael is also asking for Miss Olive and Raskava. Well, Raskava was on yesterday. He called us yesterday. Didn't sound his usual self, but I'm sure whatever it is, by the time he turns to his usual remedies, he would have recovered. All the best, Raskava. And hello, Miss Olive, if you're listening, wherever you are, good afternoon. We're still thinking about you. Roy Lawrence says, good evening. It's still afternoon here in St. Andrew, Jamaica, Roy Lawrence. Thank you. Good afternoon. He says the flat bridge was built for the heaviest 5-horse dray. It is an engineering dream. All engineering students should revere the bridge. Yeah, we have a couple of significant bridges. Yes, that's one of them. The other one is the old Spanish Town Bridge. That was built, I believe, in, is it 1901? Is it 1901? No, don't quote me on the year. I was just going off the top of my head. But it's the oldest bridge, the oldest iron bridge in the Western Hemisphere. There's a book on it as well. I have a copy of that book on that iron bridge. That's the bridge on your way to Spanish Town. There's let's say you're going to Spanish Town Hospital. So there's that bridge that you cross. There's that road that cuts across, that covers that bridge. The bridge is to your right, and there's a gas station not too far off either. That's the oldest iron bridge in the Western Hemisphere, and there's a book with all the information. And I think it's in a couple of languages. I think English, Spanish, and French as well. Yeah. Right. Let's hear what Lloyd has to say. He has a new job, new operations, and therefore more time to spend with the grandchildren and the rest of the family. Right, Lloyd? How are you?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Dervan. How are you doing? I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, just getting off of work. I'm out since 5 this morning, just getting off, going home right now, So I have a much better time to get home early, spend more time with family and friends and everything like that,
Very good.
Yeah. But Mr. Dervan, I want to ask you some questions, but I don't think it's the right time right now to ask you because there's a couple of things I want to ask you, but
well, ever heard of Carpe Diem? Seize the moment. I'll go ahead and ask the questions after the break, please. We're up on a break. One moment, please.
Seems like I've been playing the game for much too long.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Apart from the usual unique gift items, 10% discount to seniors. We also offer delivery and curbside pickup in and around the community and online payment options. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at St. Beth's Pharmacy. Also WhatsApp 876-429-6571. St. Beth's Pharmacy. Service with a difference.
Waiting on your receivables. Waiting
How
to
many
get
more to
raw
go?
material to fulfill your next order. Waiting to get paid for goods already sold.
2 minutes?
60 days, 90 days. Invoices way past due. What if you could be insured
All
for
right.
85% of your domestic and foreign receivables? So that if you don't get paid on time, your biggest priority, your business, will not have to wait. Trade credit insurance. Insurance worth having. Credit without waiting. Exim Bank. By helping businesses, we save lives and livelihood.
Jesus, oh Jesus, oh how I love to call your name.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious calling program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world. The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
You shall live, declare the works of the Lord. Amen. You shall be a living testimony here on the Lord's side.
RJR, Dina Group.
It's a long break. I could have.
Talk with host Simon Crossgill focuses
It's all right.
on the parish of Manchester this Wednesday, March 16 from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as the RGR Greener Group continues its cross-country tour. The best of Jamaica at 60. Tune in as he shares the success stories and issues facing the parish, as well as speak to our cross-country tour partners. This broadcast is brought to you by main sponsors, Grace Foods, Sunshine Snacks, Guardian Life, Digicel Foundation, associate sponsors, Hyper Ace, Gateway Cooperative Credit Union, Statistical Institute of Jamaica, H&L Rapid True Value and H&L Agro, Tranback Tonic Wine, Caribbean School of Medical Science Jamaica, and the Guardian General Insurance.
And it seems like I'm wearing the same old thing. But when this game is over, I won't end up a loser. And you know that I'll be walking out again. Yes, you know that I'll be walking out again.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 5:12. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:12. 现在几点了？5点12分. 12 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Yes, that cast iron bridge, properly called the cast iron bridge in Spanish Town. I said 1901. Yeah, it's more like 1801. It was built back in 1801. And generally accepted as the oldest bridge of its kind in the Western Hemisphere. The oldest, even that should be a part of a, don't get me started on this now, because boy, we have squandered Spanish towns. We have squandered Spanish towns so much. We have wasted Spanish town. Imagine bringing people from all these Spanish-speaking countries from all over the world to experience Spanish town. We wouldn't have hands to sell, as my late mother would say. Wouldn't have a hand for sell. Spanish Town, what a gem. We're sitting on a gold mine, and it's just, no, boy, what a tragedy. Where were we? Let's go back to Lloyd. Let's go back to Lloyd, who is somewhere in Philadelphia, right, Lloyd?
Yes, I am. All right. I'm in Ben Salem, driving home to Philadelphia. Still in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Still in Pennsylvania, an hour away from my house. And good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to Jamaica and everybody as usual and stuff. But so therefore, more ask like, I remember, right, I applied for a license to carry in Jamaica in 2015, and then turned me down, say, I'm not living in Jamaica. I know people here that live here just like me, and they have their license to carry in Jamaica, and they are citizens of the U.S. and they are citizens of Jamaica. So when them turned me down, I said, I don't live in Jamaica. I don't know why would they do that, because I have 2 places in Jamaica and I have 1 place in the U.S. And I have 2 vehicles in Jamaica and I have, vehicle in America and everything. And I'm a citizen of the U.S. and I'm a citizen of Jamaica. So, I can choose where I want to stay. If I want to stay here and work, as I'm on the plantation working right now, trying to earn as much as I can, so I can put up the fruits of my older days of my grandkids and stuff like that. And for them turn me down to say I don't live in Jamaica. My grandmama grew me up in Jamaica till I was 14 years old. I came to the US. She died, she buried in Jamaica. My pop come here, I sent my father come here, he died here, we sent him back to Jamaica. My brother got killed here, we sent him back to Jamaica. My grandmother, and most of my family, auntie and everybody, we sent back to Jamaica and everything like that. So when I understand why would they turn me down, say I don't live in Jamaica, which is from, I sent an undercard in Jamaica from 1994, we sent them an undercard in Jamaica. 1994, I sent them an undercard. So I'm very back and forth from Jamaica to the US and everything like that with my life ever since I came to the US. I came here 14th of April 1988, and I always come back home in Jamaica. I not just come back home, I come back home. I have a bank accounts them in Jamaica, I have CD in Jamaica, with the banks and stuff. And me know personal, Mr. Dervan, people in Jamaica, I'm not going to call nobody's name or anything, but me know people in Jamaica where they are street youths in the street, and them give them license firearm, they carry in Jamaica and everything like that, where they're just street kids, and them not have a business, them not have a warm water, them parents and stuff. And, I wonder, the US for the year, I'm going to apply for my license to carry. They didn't ask me, they didn't tell me, and tell me I don't live in the US, and I'm a citizen of the US and I'm a citizen of the Jamaica. They never tell me, and said, when I qualify for it. And at the end of the day, I don't see why they wouldn't, that's not a part of your rights, having a license to carry, that's not a part of your rights, that's a privilege them grant you, where you can carry a license firearm, that's a privilege, so nobody ever think that's a part of their rights, that's not a part of nobody's rights to have a license firearm or anything, but that's a privilege what they grant you, and they can grant it to you and they cannot grant it to you. But at the end of the day, that's why they wouldn't say, because when me home back home in Jamaica, I'm Mr. Dervan, up to the country which man really live, me alone by myself, everybody when I'm around me is stranger. So me feel like, sometimes I do work up there and stuff, and sometimes the man them know when I can carry money, come pay them, and them know me go carry money, come pay them by certain time. Me want to feel secure in myself down there certain way when I'm there by myself. Personal crime and go on and all the things and also, they just don't understand the whole race of the situation where, and get not even just that, Mr. Dervan, said 2018, I'm not going to call nobody's name, but 2018, I paid a lawyer $2,000 US to take that case to court for me, and I know me don't hear about nothing from the lawyer, anything from them. And that's from 2018. You understand? So it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, Jamaica is like a big game, It's like a big game thing. Everybody play with people, You just one of the real and conscious person to say Jamaica with anything we want. I just depend to call on you for it, Because you help me out in situation where it come through like that before, you know what I mean? So that's just how we are. So that's the question that we want. It's good to you, but we know you don't have enough time to answer all those questions right now. But still, you just want to put you on your P's or your Q's with what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Well, you have an opportunity. Sorry to hear of your plight, but you do have an opportunity to try again.
Yeah, that's why I gave that lawyer $2,000 US dollar. We give him for upfront cash one time.
How long ago was that?
I give it 2018.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You have an opportunity to try again.
No,
it's now 2022. And what you should have done too is report that lawyer to the General Legal Council, I think it is called. And there's also the Bar Association of Jamaica. When lawyers fail to do what they're supposed to do, there are checks and balances. So
and them don't call me, don't say anything,
no, man, it's a pity. It's a pity you didn't report him. I don't know if it's too late now. Maybe the statute. I don't know if it's too late now. But no, man. When people shortchange you like that, and you have to report it. You have to report it. Otherwise, they'll continue to do it. And we have seen a lot of lawyers have been convicted in this country. A lot of lawyers.
I tell them, man, I had so much because there's somebody, trustworthy take me to him and everything like that. So, I'll trust and faith now and say, okay, if I'm going to do some work. Because after them turn me down, I'm going to go back and give him this $2,000 and tell them if I want him to see what can happen, And them say, okay, and whatever. Some said, what we should do is give him like $500 first or something, but we just give him all this $2,000 one time up front. You know what I mean? Still have a receipt and everything same way,
Yeah.
So
yeah, well,
I don't know.
See if you're up to it, see what can come from that. But the choice is yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Dervan.
We can talk another time. But because we have to go now. Thank you so much for calling, and all the very best.
Okay, Mr. Dervan. Thank you for listening to me.
All right, take care. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Tuesday, the 15th of March, 2022. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
Yes, you know that I'll be walking out here. Trapped. Ooh, yeah. 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 Trapped.
listening to Power 106 FM.
Bye.
The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.